Incredible reveal: how a heartwarming act from a security guard saved a hidden billionaire heiress. The rain poured down relentless as Marcus adjusted his cap and readied himself for another night at the mall. Flickering lights danced off the gleaming tiles, while extravagant window displays stood like proud soldiers showcasing luxury brands. As the last shoppers dwindled away, he felt the hum of unfinished dreams surrounding him. He was a security guard, a protector of possessions, but more importantly, a guardian of hope. His meager paycheck barely scraped by, yet every dollar he earned supported his aging mother in their tiny apartment. He imagined a future free of the weight on his shoulders, a life where her laughter echoed freely, unshackled from worry. Then came Anna. Clad in modest, everyday clothing that blended her into the crowd, she caught Marcus's attention as effortlessly as a whisper can linger in the air. She strolled through the mall, her sweet smile lighting up the darkest corners. "We have to help those struggling by supporting our own community," she would say, passion dancing in her eyes. They began to share stories, her advocacy for low-income families resonating deeply with Marcus, stirring something inside him he couldn't ignore. Each touch of her hand, each heartfelt laugh became a flicker of comfort on difficult nights, and their bond strengthened with every exchange. But darkness loomed. Among the soft glow of luxury stores, murmurs of the mall owner's indulgent spending during this time of hardship created rifts that rippled through their community. A heaviness settled in, as the very people who Marcus called neighbors turned against Anna's mission. "Who is she to tell us how we should live?" some whispered. Caught in the relentless clash, Marcus watched as trust decayed. He believed in Anna and her fight but also felt the hiss of doubt from his friends and family. He knew the sacrifices they made and questioned how easily they could shift their brimming disdain toward a young woman who didn't look the part of struggling. Yet, every moment spent with Anna felt like inhaling a new beginning. As whispers escalated, confusion deepened. The divide felt insurmountable, and everything changed during one pivotal evening. Just as Anna's community event began, tension simmered like the storm outside. As she spoke passionately about change, a slip of the tongue unraveled her world. "As part of my family's company," the words hung heavy in the air, confusion crashing over Marcus like a tidal wave. She was a billionaire heiress. How could she truly understand their struggles? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As whispers of betrayal erupted, Marcus stood at the edge of desperation. His heart raced, his mind tangled in feelings of anger and confusion. How could she hide such a thing while fighting for those who truly suffered? As the rift deepened and allies became foes, Marcus found himself in a twisted position. Would he defend Anna, the woman who inspired him, or would he turn his back on the person he had come to consider a friend? With tensions looming and secrets unraveling, he felt the weight of his world shift. The next steps he took could shift not only his reality but the very heart of their community. Would he dare step beyond the barriers of class and prejudice to reclaim their friendship? Or would everything he believed be destroyed? As darkness settled around them, it became clear a monumental choice lay ahead, and only time would tell if hope could persist in a broken world. The next day, the aftermath of Anna's revelation loomed over Marcus like a storm cloud, heavy and unrelenting. He sat on a bench in the vacant mall, staring at the storefronts that now felt more like hollow shells than vibrant displays of life. The whispers and judgment swirled around him like a dense fog, every name he heard was a jab to his conscience. He felt lost. As the day stretched on, he spotted Anna leaning against a wall, her shoulders slumped, a stark contrast to the vibrant woman he admired. The passion in her eyes was dulled, replaced by shadows of doubt. The event had done more than reveal her status, it had shattered the trust of those who once saw her as an ally. "Anna," he called out, his voice steadying as he took cautious steps toward her. For a moment, silence fell between them, filled with unspoken words. Marcus, she sighed, a mixture of relief and sadness washing over her. I didn't want to hide it. I thought if I showed them who I really was, they wouldn't believe me. They'd think I was just another rich girl looking to play savior. You are more than that, he replied, urgency bubbling in his chest. You care. That's what matters. His heart ached to pull her from the depths of her despair. They listen to you, not me, she murmured, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. You're one of them. You know the struggle, the sacrifice. I'm just a name in a boardroom. But your heart speaks louder than any title, he insisted. You being wealthy doesn't change the fact that you want to help. That desire, it's powerful. He took a deep breath, feeling the heat of conviction pushing him. We need you. Our community needs your voice. Don't you see? Anna looked up, meeting his gaze. The flicker of hope danced back to life in her expression. Do you really think they'll listen? They will if they see how much you care. We can change their minds, he said, feeling a surge of determination coursing through him. You still believe in us, in this community. Let us show them you're one of us even if it doesn't fit their picture of who you are. For a moment, they shared a quiet understanding, a connection weaving between their hearts. Stepping into the unknown felt daunting, but there was something liberating about facing the truth together. Will you help me? She asked, her voice soft, yet filled with strength. Always, he replied. Preparing for their next move, Anna began to share her ideas on rebuilding the community-inclusive programs, local support initiatives. Together they drafted a plan to host a new event, one born from genuine understanding rather than wealth. It was time to rebuild trust. As excitement bubbled between them, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that he was not just fighting for Anna's cause but for their community's future. He needed to rally everyone together, to mend what had been frayed. But as his phone buzzed with an incoming message, an uneasy feeling twisted in his stomach. It was a threat from a former friend, warning him away from associating with Anna. It was clear that not everyone was ready to let go of their assumptions, and trouble was brewing. Marcus, what's wrong? Anna's voice pulled him from his thoughts. The fight is just beginning, he warned her. A chilling certainty settled over him. Their determination would soon be tested, but he knew they had to take the leap together. What would they do when the opposition turned its eyes towards them? Would this alliance stand strong, or would the weight of judgments crush their aspirations? Time was running out to find out the truth both about their community and each other. The air was thick with pressure, and each moment felt heavier than the last. Marcus stared at his phone, the screen glowing ominously in the dim light of the mall. His instincts screamed at him to ignore the message, yet the words clawed at his mind, stay away from Anna. You don't know who she really is. He tried to shake it off, but uncertainty crept in. Was there more to Anna than she had revealed? Had he overlooked something vital that could change everything? He glanced up, and Anna was watching him with concern etched across her face. What did they say? She pressed, her tone a mix between worry and determination. A friend, someone who's not too thrilled about our plans, he replied carefully, feeling the weight of the words settle deep in his gut. What does he want? Anna's brow furrowed, her vulnerability shining through. Just a warning, he said, forcing a soft smile. He thinks I'm making a mistake. Marcus, I won't let anyone come between us, our mission. Not now. There was fire in her eyes now, a flicker of her former confidence. He reached out and squeezed her hand gently. I know, and I'm with you. But we need to be vigilant. There are people who before he could finish, the mall's atmosphere shifted. A group of familiar faces appeared at the entrance, their expressions darkening the doorway with something that felt like hostility. They were part of the community that had once embraced Anna, but now their looks spoke volumes of doubt and apprehension. Here we go, Marcus murmured. What do you want to do? Anna asked, determination flooding her features. Let us not hide. Let us face this. His heart raced as he pulled her closer. But we'll need to show them you're more than just a name on a wall. As they approached, a woman among the group, Hannah, stepped forward. Marcus. Anna, we need to talk. Her tone felt accusatory, yet there was something softer underneath. About what? Marcus asked, a defensive edge creeping into his voice. About you thinking you can change things without considering how we feel, Hannah replied, crossing her arms. We saw what happened at the charity event. You need to understand, Anna, that your background doesn't just vanish. We can't forget who you are. Anna took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. I know where I come from, she said, her tone steady. But I'm here because I want to change. To really help this community. Easy to say, another voice chimed in, a man named Rick stepping forward, his brow lowered. But we need more than pretty words. We need action from someone who actually understands the fight. Anna's eyes narrowed, but Marcus squeezed her hand tighter, urging her to take a step back. Let us prove to them that she cares, he spoke out, confident in Anna's passion. Let us work together for a common cause. Just a pretty face, Hannah scoffed, her eyes narrowing. What do you even know of our struggles? The air crackled with tension, and Marcus felt the gravity of the moment. This is bigger than any single person. Anna has ideas that can heal, that can unite us, but right now we're divided, Anna interjected, her voice rising above the noise, her certainty radiating. And I can't change that alone. I want to bring us together, but I also need you to give me a chance. A heartbeat of silence fell, a moment where every eye was on her. Anna stood tall, her vulnerability intertwining with a fierce resolve. But doubt still lingered in their eyes. Just as Marcus thought about how to bridge the gap, the message dinged again on his phone. He glanced at it briefly, the knot in his stomach tightening. And then, a voice broke through the silence, challenging their commitment. What happens if they find out the truth about you, Anna? What then? The room was electric with potential confrontation. Would their fragile alliance withstand the investigation that was surely brewing? Would fear or hope guide their paths? With each second that ticked by, the stakes felt impossibly higher. Marcus could feel the tension simmering, yet he sensed something more potent blossoming amidst the chaos. What hidden truths would emerge, and how would they redefine everything? The battle had just begun. Marcus's heart raced as he remained locked in that charged moment with Anna and the group surrounding them. The atmosphere felt like a heightened storm, winds swirling with doubt and suspicion. He could see Anna's lips part slightly as if she were about to respond, but he sensed the weight of the silent pressure urging her to reconsider. Not everyone thinks you can just walk in here and change everything, Hannah said, her voice cutting through the quiet. She stepped forward, challenging Anna's presence. We've been fighting for years for our families, our homes. It's not about words, it's about sacrifice. Then prove you're willing to sacrifice for this community, Rick added, a pointed look directed toward Anna. Prove it with action. Anna's shoulders stiffened. She opened her mouth once, hesitating, then took a deep breath. Marcus felt the pulse of courage radiating off her skin. What if I told you that I understand more than you think? Anna said, her voice steady, strong. I've faced battles you can't even imagine. I'm here not just to help, I'm here because I care. And what do you plan to do about it? Hannah pressed, her skepticism like a wall. Let me show you, Anna replied, fire igniting in her eyes. Let us protect this community together. This isn't just words. I want to fund programs, support families. I want to rebuild trust. In that moment, hope flickered in Marcus's heart, but he could see it still hadn't touched everyone there. They exchanged doubtful looks, still anchored in fear, holding on to their mistrust. It broke his heart to watch. We're not asking for miracles, just proof, Rick said. The group behind him nodded, softening slightly at the thought. But how do we know you'll follow through? How do we know this isn't one big hoax? What if you're hiding something? Anna's chest rose and fell with determination, her expression unyielding. What if I told you I could guarantee a fund for education, for healthcare, right here? But I need you to trust me. Will you at least allow me to show you how? A murmur traveled through the crowd, tension rippling as they considered her words. Marcus felt his chest tighten. This was her moment. Before he could grasp how the crowd would react, a flash of certainty ignited in Anna's eyes, as if she were recalling something deeply personal. I know struggle. I've lived different lives, seen the depths of pain. It has changed who I am. If I show you my real story, will you give me a chance? Marcus held his breath, every heart in the room on the precipice of a choice. Yes, someone said, breaking the uneasy silence. It was a member from the back of the group, stepping forward. But we need details. If we're going to trust someone, we need to see their scars. Anna nodded, ready. I'll reveal my story, everything. The triumphs, the failures, you deserve nothing less. But it's a journey we'll take together. Let us start a conversation. The intensity shifted palpably as the crowd now began to lean in closer, curiosity blooming like a fragile flower in early spring. Admitting the truth can bring people closer or tear them apart, Marcus thought, his heart pounding in rhythm with the motivations swirling around him. Just then, Marcus's phone vibrated again, a reminder of the looming shadow he hadn't shaken. He glanced down at the screen, and his breath caught. The message was from an unknown number. You need to choose wisely who to trust. They won't let you go easily. The heavy words hung in the air as his stomach twisted. Would Anna's truth be enough to earn trust? Or would their journey be fraught with dangers far beyond what they anticipated? With each question lurking beneath the surface, Marcus knew there were still battles ahead. What awaited them now that the stakes were raised? And more importantly, could Anna truly embrace her hidden past, or would it consume everything? The crowd held its breath, the weight of uncertainty thickening the air. Anna's gaze swept over the familiar faces of the community, searching for warmth, inspiration, or perhaps a flicker of understanding. Marcus felt a surge of urgency. He wanted to support her, to stand alongside her and defend her fiercely. But now, all eyes were on Anna, and he could sense the fine line between a turning point and a slippery slope. I grew up in a place where trust was a rare commodity, Anna began, her voice rising above the murmurs. I know what it's like to watch people suffer, to feel powerless to help. My family lost everything when I was a kid. I promised myself I would do everything I could to make things right, not just for me, but for everyone. Hannah crossed her arms, still unconvinced, but the spark of curiosity was igniting in some of the bystanders. Marcus moved closer. Compelled by Anna's raw honesty, her vulnerability hung in the air like an unbroken promise. I didn't just get lucky, Anna continued, her words a lifeline thrown to the doubting hearts. I fought. I clawed my way up. And I realized that the only way to heal communities is through genuine acts of love and collaboration. Not donations, not grand gestures, real, personal connections. Why should we believe you? Rick challenged again, shifting his weight from one leg to the other, skeptical but intrigued. What makes you the person who can really help us? Anna exhaled, steeling herself. Because I want to create a program that connects us, that empowers our children through education, through mentorship. I won't just stand in front of you with promises. I'll share my experience, and we'll build this together. The murmurs of quiet dissent began to fade. More people leaned in, silently inviting her to continue. Let me tell you about my past, Anna said, her voice fragile yet fierce. I've made mistakes, real mistakes. I was desperate once, too. But I learned the hardest lessons of my life watching my parents struggle. I learned that there are no easy roads, but there is power in unity. What's your plan? Someone shouted from the back, voice trembling with hope and doubt intertwined. Anna smiled softly, the weight of the moment transforming her expression. First, let us meet regularly. I want to hear your stories, your needs. From there, we can approach potential partners who want to invest in our community's future. A flicker of a smile crossed Rick's face for the first time. Marcus saw the shift, a glimmer of recognition that echoed his own feelings. Anna wasn't just asking for trust, she was inviting them into her life. The crowd seemed to breathe collectively, their tension easing just slightly. But then came the whisper of apprehension as someone asked, "And what if we discover more scars than successes? What if you hide more?" "Then you will have every right to question my intentions," Anna replied, her eyes blazing with conviction. "I won't hide. My scars are part of my story. They will be part of our journey." As Anna spoke, Marcus's phone buzzed again, stealing his focus. He read the message quickly, a follow-up from the unknown number, "Remember to look closely. The truth can be deceptive." He pocketed the device, heart racing, the weight of its warning hanging over him. Just as he turned back, Anna's eyes locked onto his. In that moment, he saw everything: the fears, the hopes, and the unyielding determination that pushed her forward. The crowd was slowly warming to her story, but Marcus knew deep down that not everyone was ready to let down their defenses. Anna was stepping out into the light, bearing herself stripped of pretense. But what if the truth she revealed changed everything they thought they knew? In that moment, he realized how high the stakes had risen. This was only the beginning of their fight. What lay ahead? And who could they trust when shadows loomed nearby, threatening to shatter their fragile beginnings? The murmurs in the crowd gradually turned into whispers of encouragement, blending into the air like a soothing balm. Anna's heart raced as she steadied her breath, sensing the tide shift in her favor. Yet even as that hope flickered in the air, Marcus couldn't shake the unease gnawing in his stomach. He glanced again at his phone, contemplating the message that seemed to weave into their collective moment an alert reminder of unseen truths waiting just behind the surface. "Will you help us, Anna?" Someone from the crowd finally asked, a hint of desperation in the voice that caught everyone's attention. A young mother, her hands clutching a small child, stepped forward. The sincerity and urgency in her question resonated. "I promise I will," Anna replied, her voice steady. "But I need all of you with me. Together, we can shape our future." People began nodding, the energy vibrating a little stronger as the community began to merge their individual hopes into a collective dream. The power of the moment washed over Marcus, yet his gaze darted restlessly, searching for shadows lurking in the periphery. As the crowd murmured affirmations, Rick stepped forward more assertively this time. "We've been promised things before, but if you're willing to share your experience, your journey, then maybe we could give this a real chance." "Absolutely," Anna said, a spark of optimism lighting her features. "I want to create a network for mentorship, not just for children but for adults as well. Life skills workshops, shared resources, real conversations. It won't just be my voice but everyone's." Another hand shot up. This time, it was an elderly man, his voice raspy but strong. "What if it all falls apart? How will we know you won't run away when it gets tough?" His face was a map of lines carved by years of struggle, and for a moment there was silence, a hesitant pause as Anna weighed her response. Looking around the crowd, she could feel their collective vulnerability, their collective strength. "If and when it gets tough, I'll be right there with you. That's the commitment I'm making. I've seen what happens when you push people aside. We rise or fall together." A ripple of applause began to build, filling the air with a sound that felt like they were finally reaching for something higher. But Marcus remained trapped in his thoughts, feeling the urgent pulse of concern. He wished he could shake off the message that lingered, reminding him that not all truths were meant to be shared openly. As Anna caught his eyes, her tired smile reshaped itself with hope. "Marcus, what do you think? Should we invite our community to take this leap?" The question hung heavy in the air, and he could feel the weight of expectations pressing down on him. Could he truly trust the shadows that lingered? Yet it was Anna's courage, her willingness to bare her soul, that tugged at him. "I think," he began, but just then, a sudden loud crash echoed from the alley behind them. The crowd shifted, surprised gasps cutting through the thickening atmosphere. People turned, anxiety rippling through the gathered faces. "Let us check it out," someone called, curiosity piquing the crowd's interest. Anna and Marcus exchanged a glance filled with uncertainty. There was something in Marcus's gut, a sense of danger. He squeezed her hand, planting the tiniest seed of reassurance even as chaos bubbled around them. "Stay close," he urged softly. As they stepped toward the noise, a chill crept down Marcus's spine. The truth they sought could be lurking in that alley, waiting to unravel not just Anna's dreams but their own fragile beginnings. Could they handle whatever revelations awaited them there? And what if those revelations changed everything they thought they knew about trust, honesty, and their community? As Anna and Marcus moved closer to the alley, their hands still intertwined, the unease settled heavier in Marcus's chest. Sharp edges of anxiety pinched at him, urging caution, but Anna's determination propelled them forward. The crowd behind them buzzed like a swarm of bees, their anticipation thick enough to taste. When they reached the alley's entrance, the scene unfolded before them in chaotic disarray. A few onlookers had joined forces to push aside a crumpled metal trash bin that had fallen, exposing a flickering neon sign for a forgotten bar. But it wasn't just the old sign that caught everyone's attention. There, crouching by the fence, was a security guard, a tall man whose uniform was slightly rumpled, but whose focus was laser-sharp. "What happened?" Marcus called out, raising his voice over the collective murmur of the crowd. He stepped closer, heart pounding, curiosity battling against that gnawing feeling in his gut. The guard looked up, a hint of relief washing over his features. "Just a bit of a scuffle between a couple of guys over there. Nothing serious. But..." He gestured with his chin toward a small pile of discarded items strewn across the ground. "Look at this," he said, standing up and brushing his hands together. Marcus squinted, trying to see what lay beneath the remnants of a broken crate. As the crowd pressed forward, gasps filled the air again, this time mixed with intrigue rather than fear. Amid the scraps and debris, a silver locket caught the light. The guard bent down, carefully picking it up. It was elegant, etched with a delicate floral design, a striking contrast to the alley's griminess. "I think this might belong to someone important," he said, his tone shifting to one of caution. Anna stepped forward, curiosity sparking in her eyes. "What's engraved on it?" she asked, her voice laced with the kind of determination that had just melted the crowd's hesitations moments before. The guard danced the locket between his fingers. "I can't quite make it out, too small. But it looks like it's more than just a piece of jewelry. It could be significant." As he carefully opened it, a collective hush fell upon the crowd. Inside was a photograph, a young woman, radiant and alive, with an unmistakable air of nobility. It was a face that seemed to pulse with warmth and life, captivating everyone's attention. "Who is she?" a voice whispered from the crowd, a sense of disbelief creeping through the onlookers. "This must be a clue," Marcus murmured to Anna, who was frowning, her brows knitting together as thoughts whirled in her mind. "But what does it lead to?" Before Anna could answer, the guard's phone buzzed loudly in the silence, cutting through the tension thickened with questions. He glanced at it, a frown creasing his forehead. "I need to take this. Stay here." As he turned, Anna's heart raced. Something about the locket felt pivotal, a hidden thread connecting not just to the young woman in the picture but perhaps to the community itself, to everything they were envisioning. The moment felt electric, like the air before a storm. "What if she is someone who needs our help?" Anna's voice wavered with urgency. Marcus swallowed hard. "Or someone who can help us? We need to find her." The prospect was exciting, yet the underlying tension remained. What if this revelation altered everything they thought they knew about their community? As the crowd began to buzz again, words exchanged hurriedly about the mystery, Anna clenched the locket's image tightly in her mind, knowing they stood at the edge of something monumental. Find her, we have to. Her determination reignited, stirring the crowd again. Where do we even begin? Marcus asked, fear creeping back into the edges of his voice. But even as he questioned, hope shimmered on the horizon, ready to spark a new journey for the community if only they dared to take that leap. What secrets lay ahead? And could they unravel the truth before it slipped through their fingers like sand? Marcus felt the weight of Anna's urgency hanging in the air. He could sense the crowd's collective heartbeat. Everyone had leaned in, driven by a shared spark of curiosity and compassion. This wasn't just about a locket anymore, it was about someone, a person who might be lost or in need. The photograph, maybe we can find her family? They might know more, Anna suggested, her eyes darting through the milling faces around them. She felt the need to act, to transform this moment of discovery into something tangible, something that could help. Before Marcus could respond, a woman in the crowd stepped forward. Her voice was steady, filled with a surprising familiarity. Excuse me, I recognize her. That's Elise Carter. She disappeared 2 years ago. The murmurs grew louder, a mix of shock and intrigue rippling through the spectators. Anna's heart raced as she exchanged glances with Marcus, excitement mingled with panic. Did you say Elise Carter? Anna asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes. The woman, now the center of attention, nodded earnestly. She was a local, a bright star, you know? Her family has been searching for her. They even installed flyers all over town. The weight Marcus had been carrying in his chest began to lift. What happened to her? He pressed, wanting to unravel this mystery as quickly as possible. She went missing after a party downtown. No one ever saw her again, she said, a shadow crossing her features. The crowd grew still, caught in a shared moment of loss and determination. Do you know her family? Can we contact them? Anna's voice was steady now, fueled by hope. I might have their number, the woman replied, furrowing her brow, digging through her purse, her hands trembling slightly. Around them, people began to pull out their phones, ready to search for anything they could find about Elise. As they waited, the guard returned, his phone call evidently short but his expression revealing signs of concern. What did I miss? He asked, moving back to the group. It's Elise, Marcus interrupted, determination in his eyes. We think she might still be out there. We need to spread the word. The security guard's posture straightened. I'd like to help. If we can gather everyone's contact information, I can get the word out to the local businesses, even the police. We need to mobilize people. A ripple of approval surged through the crowd. People began shouting out their commitments. I'll put up flyers. I'll share on social media. I know some officers, I can reach out. Everything felt electric, hope thrumming through the crowd like a lifeline. Anna turned to Marcus, a fierce gleam in her eye. This isn't just about finding Elise anymore. It's about uniting us, bringing everyone together. Marcus nodded, a smile creeping onto his face. The moment felt monumental, like they were on the cusp of some great change. The locket was more than just a piece of jewelry, it was a beacon. As chaos unfolded, with phones ringing and contacts exchanged, Marcus felt a surge of belief in the collective strength of their community. They might find Elise. They might even uncover the truth behind her disappearance. But then, just as optimism enveloped them, a chilling thought struck Marcus. What if Elise didn't want to be found? What if, even with all their efforts, they unearthed something they weren't ready to face? He glanced at Anna, whose expression mirrored his inner turmoil. Were they prepared for whatever revelation lay ahead? With the lights of the bar flickering behind them, the hum of the crowd buzzing with newfound purpose, they stood at the precipice of a decision, a choice that could change everything. Where would they go next? And would they be brave enough to face the truth, no matter how daunting? While the crowd buzzed with excitement, Anna pulled Marcus aside, her voice urgent but low. What if we really do find her? What then? The question hung in the air, thick with the weight of possibilities. Marcus studied her. He had seen determination in Anna before, but now there was a nervous edge. "We'll help her if we can," he replied, trying to stay optimistic. "Isn't that what matters?" She bit her lip, contemplating the gravity of their mission. They had stepped into a whirlwind, and the impact was only just beginning to manifest. What if finding Elise changes everything? We need to be ready for what we might discover. Just then, the woman who had recognized Elise rejoined them, her phone in hand, a fervent look on her face. "I found the number for her family. We need to call them right now." Anna's heart leaped. "Should we call them here? In front of everyone?" The weight of the crowd felt even heavier now, their eager faces searching for direction. They were all in this together, but this was about more than just Elise. It was about closure, hope, and, potentially, heartbreak. "Let us go outside," Marcus suggested. "We can talk privately." The three of them slipped through the crowd, stepping into the crisp night air. The cacophony from inside faded, replaced by the distant sounds of cars and the rustling leaves. "Do you think Elise wants to be found?" Marcus asked the woman, his voice guarded. She shrugged, her eyes clouding over. "Honestly? I can't say. After she vanished, I heard rumors, sometimes people run away. Life gets too hard." Anna's heart sank at that thought. What if Elise didn't want to be found? What if she had built a life without the weight of her past? "Let us make the call," she urged, shaking off her doubts. "If she's out there, she deserves to be found. No matter what." The woman nodded and dialed quickly. Each ringing tone felt like an eternity. The weight of uncertainty pressed on Anna's chest. Would Elise's family know where she was? Would they be happy or devastated to learn someone was searching for her? Finally, the call connected. "Hello? Is this Mrs. Carter?" the woman asked. Anna held her breath, the world narrowing to just this moment. "Yes, this is she," came a faint voice on the other end. It trembled slightly, hinting at years of worry. "Ma'am, we have information about Elise," the woman said, steadying herself. Anna could barely hear what was being said through the carrier signal, but she could feel the tension in the air like a storm about to break. Each word hung heavy with hope and uncertainty. The voice on the other end dropped in pitch, and Anna could hear the faint gasp of disbelief. "Where is she? Is she okay?" The woman's eyes brightened. "We're not sure yet, but we have a photo. We think she'd be willing to talk." Marcus felt a pulse of excitement, tempered by Anna's worried glance. What would they uncover? Were they pulling open doors that might expose more than just truths? Anna lifted her phone, recording bits of the conversation to share with the crowd. "Hold on 1 second," she said, as the woman continued relaying details. As the bar lights flickered behind, Anna could feel the crowd's anticipation building again. Eyebrows raised, mouths silent, everyone was on the edge of their seats eager for news. But a thought struck Marcus, making his stomach twist. What if, in searching for Elise, they lost something precious about themselves? Before he could voice this concern, the woman hung up, her expression torn between hope and worry. "Elise, she's alive. Her family wants us to meet." A rising cheer erupted from the crowd, but Anna's eyes lingered on Marcus. The road ahead felt tumultuous, paved with uncertainty. "Are we ready for this?" she whispered. With the crowd's excitement swirling around them, a sense of urgency took hold. Could they really face whatever waited at the end of this journey? The question loomed, hanging in the air with an intensity that was impossible to ignore. What secrets lay waiting to be unearthed? As news of Elise's impending reunion spread like wildfire, the anticipation in the air was electric. Marcus could feel the pulse of hope surging through the crowd, but a part of him remained hesitant. The cheers echoed off the walls of the mall, but all he could think was, what if? What if something went wrong? What if they weren't ready for the truth? They gathered once more, faces bright with excitement, all eyes darting from Anna to Marcus. People began discussing plans to reach out, to set an exact time to connect with Elise. In that moment, Anna stood at the center, a beacon directing everyone's hopes. As she watched everyone rally together, Marcus took a breath, feeling the weight of their mission. He squeezed her hand tightly. "This is huge," he said, his voice low and steady. "We need to prepare ourselves for what comes next." Anna nodded, but her vibrant energy remained undeterred. "We will support each other no matter what," she said, her gaze unwavering, filled with a fierce determination. "Whether Elise is ready or not, this is our chance to show our community that we can rebuild trust together." A veil of murmurs enveloped them, each voice pooling together in shared anticipation. Rick stepped forward, his demeanor softer now, eagerness mixing with his previous skepticism. "When do you think we can meet them?" Anna bit her lip, contemplating the timing. "Soon. I want to make sure we're all there everyone so Elise knows she isn't alone." "Meet us at the park tomorrow," someone chimed in, swelling the crowd's agreement. "We can offer support, let her know we care." "What if she won't meet us?" Another voice questioned hesitantly. "She will," Anna replied, her conviction cutting through the uncertainty like a knife. "Together, we will find a way to ensure she knows she has us. We can invite her to join in our plans for the future, share our vision." Marcus admired her spirit, but the gnawing feeling at the pit of his stomach refused to leave. Would this really mend their community? The next day dawned bright yet cool. People gathered in the park under the sprawling oak trees, their breaths visible in the brisk air. Hope sparkled in the faces of those around him, and yet, apprehension settled like a heavy weight inside Marcus. He felt as if they were on the edge of a precipice, poised to uncover something monumental yet potentially devastating. Anna stood at the front, her vibrant energy front and center, her presence a testament to the courage their mission demanded. "Are you ready?" she shouted, her enthusiasm infectious. Slowly, the crowd cheered. Then, in the distance, the sound of tires crunching on gravel echoed through the stillness. Anna's expression shifted from excitement to worry. "The Carters are here!" someone shouted, causing an amazing wave of silence to wash over the gathering. Everyone felt the gravity of the moment, every heart racing in unison. As Elise's family entered, Marcus felt a tangible tension weaving through the air. They stood awkwardly, unsure, lost amid the crowd's energy, their faces morphing between hope and fear. The heart of the community was laid bare, unveiled right before them. A family aching for answers, perhaps needing closure as much as Elise herself needed reconnection. A young woman, whom Marcus guessed must be Elise's sister, spoke up first, her voice wavered with raw emotion. "We've been looking for Elise for 2 years and now, we can finally see her again?" Anna stepped forward, her heart radiating warmth. "We will support you. Together, we can bring Elise back and help her find peace." The sister's eyes softened, a hint of gratitude creeping into her otherwise pained expression. "But what if she doesn't want to come home?" A silence fell thick around them as everyone held their breath. This was the question that had lingered in their hearts, the fear that perhaps the journey would not yield the hopeful reunion they anticipated. "Then we'll respect her decision," Anna replied, tears glistening in her eyes. "But we want her to know she is never alone. No matter where she is, we're here for her." As those words hung in the air, Marcus saw the strength of their alliance taking root, a commitment to face the unknown, whatever it brought. In that moment, unity melted the boundaries that once divided them. When Elise finally emerged from the tragedy they had feared, unexpectedly vulnerable yet courageous, the community embraced her not just with words but with warmth, ready to show they'd changed. Through Anna's determination, they'd bridged the gap between the past and the present, shattering misconceptions with understanding. Deep down, Marcus realized they had come together not just for Elise, but for one another, healing wounds and rebuilding trust in a way that felt powerful. Tomorrow still held uncertainties, but as they united amidst kindness, they carried a promise, a renewed commitment to overcome obstacles, and a shared belief that change was not only possible but already happening. "We've got this," Marcus whispered to Anna, his heart full as they stood together, ready to embrace whatever followed. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in glorious hues of orange and pink, Marcus felt hope washing over him, a tide of possibilities swelling within their community. With Anna at his side, they were ready to see this journey through. No matter what hidden truths lay ahead, together they would rise, together they would thrive. Now is the time to take your stand. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that will inspire you. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support to this amazing journey. Comment your reactions and feelings about this truly transformative ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who desperately need to see this beautiful transformation. Only true fans truly understand the importance of backing our mission in empowering each other through these stories.